So after the first interaction with Termina, I am pretty sure that now I need to get set up somehow. At least like establish some base of operations. I'm also sure that I'm going to have to learn a few new mechanics, like what are these triangles in battle? What does rev up even do? Some of the spells are new as well, and above all, there's a huge new world to explore. This time outside. It seems larger, even though I haven't experienced it yet, but it feels like I genuinely did nothing so far. If you are new to the channel, I make narrated playthroughs of mostly horror games on the channel, and if you subscribe, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. I have a whole series on Fear and Hunger 1, and I started a series on Look Outside as well, so I'll leave the playlists to those down below. But for now, let's begin. Okay, I have to start from scratch again because I didn't even find a save yet, so I decide to go back to my character choices and redo some of those options. This time I pick burglar instead of pickpocket to get lockpicking, of course, and I specialize in evasion because that sure seemed necessary against the woodsman. I learned bob and weave, another new spell. Excellent. Lastly, I decide to take medical goods this time instead of drugs. I promise this will be the only redo for this playthrough. I just really want lockpicking since it can probably get me access to more content. Also, this time I tell Tanaka to go on foot because he's gonna do it anyway. Oh, and Tanaka isn't actually here this time. Oh god. Oh no, wait, there he is. He just took his time. I head back to the woodsman area again and there he is, doing his favorite hobby. Good to see it. I go into his house and I don't finger blast the bed this time, and I find a book called a Prehevil document. Looking back at the history of this place, there has been a settlement here for as long as the history books covered the area. It has always been centered around the mysterious hollow tower that works as the center pillar of the community. The city flourished during the cruel age in the 1600s, but it quickly fell from prominence the closer we got to the modern times. I understand the city is medium in size as far as cities in Eastern Europa go, but still, I find it hard to believe that this place would serve as a hub of any kind in a civilized world. For some reason, the government officials insist that Prehevil keeps its capital identity despite it being one of the more remote and unwelcoming cities in all of Bohemia, if not all of Europa. The only explanation that I can come up with is that the country is proud of the old archaic rites that still go down in the city and they want to show their full support. If you were to visit Prehevil and sightsee its small center, you'd see a glimpse of its ancient glory days, still well and alive in these modern times. Do not let the Western-style shopping district with its latest movie posters and advertisements fool you. The locals still worship the old world order in the dank and crumbling parts of town. Ritualistic murder sites are just around the corner no matter where you are in the city. While the churches look to be dedicated to our one true God Olmir from the outside, inside tells a whole different story. Ancient gods without name in any known language still linger in those crypts, and why wouldn't they? You can hear the priests chant their masses in the moonlit alleys during the dead of night. The whole wicked city is a playground for the ancient beings, and the people living there offer themselves to the first taker without second thought. Interesting, so this place looks modern, but it is still stuck in the past, and it flourished during the cruel age, a callback to obviously the girls ending in Fear and Hunger 1. Very interesting. I head outside and move to the next area, woodsman just chasing me all the way. What a lovely guy. I'm now in the Maiden Forest and there is a dead horse. Okay, I continue and oh my god, it's the dogs, but headless. What is that? I escape back into the outskirts and oh my god, the woodsman is still chasing me here as well. I juke him pretty easily because he is slow and pretty stupid, and I run towards the exit of the outskirts instead. Man, it feels like everything is chasing me around. I loot a few mushrooms and move on to Prehevil Old Town. You hear distant screams and ramblings. You are not alone. Oh, that's not very reassuring. Wow, what nightmare town is this? I start exploring this place and there are houses and a semblance of a road that used to be here, now left to deteriorate to Mother Nature. Wear and tear and upkeep from the people who don't care anymore. I start start looting around, enter a house, and it's just a big toilet and an old friend. A bloody toilet hole. The seatings are covered in blood, feces, and semen. Looks like that is the most generally accepted way to maintain a toilet in this world. I explore the place a bit more and find a statue that looks a lot like where Enki was in that flashback we saw. A bloody ritual crucifix. They used to have these in the olden times, but you've never seen one in person. The smell and sight of the sacrificed corpses are repulsive. You feel like throwing up. I also find a basement door, but it's locked. My god, I'm so hyped to uncover all of the secrets this place holds. Also, why can't I lockpick that basement door? I hear a weird kid scream or something. And I also see a car, further confirming that we are not in the olden times anymore. I also want to try the knife to see if it actually makes me worse at combat somehow. I'm curious. Also, I found a ballistic shield, and this time it's not equipped to the other hand, rather we have 3 accessory slots and it fits in there. A military-grade ballistic shield, used often in riots. If you are lucky, it might even stop bullets. Now that's something I can really get behind. Get it? Anyway, as I explore some more, I start seeing some of the villagers and this weird pig mask guy. Nope, not now, but soon, I'm sure. I find another little house with coffins at the front of it. Weird. I lockpick my way in and... Oi, just what do you think you're doing, barging in like that? We're closed today. Come back tomorrow. So rude. Yeah, that was kinda rude, just breaking and entering like that. Sorry. I knock on a coffin and no reaction. You cannot hear anything from inside. I go to the next area and find an open basement door. Don't mind if I do. The basement seems damp and dark from up here, as if something lurks down there waiting for you. I enter. The air down here is heavy, moist, and musky. I know I praised this before, but I just love this inner monologue that you have while traveling these worlds. It really paints the picture even clearer, not just from what you see visually, but from what the characters themselves experience while going through these nightmares. Just amazing touches all around in these games. Really, hats off to the creator. While exploring, I notice this place goes in a circle and I find a guy down here blocking the path. So I decide to go the other way around, and there are more people at the entrance effectively trapping me in here. I have no choice now, I must go deeper in. As I move around and enter the door that was blocked by the guy from the other side earlier, he has now trapped me in this room, forcing me to fight him to get free from this place. So I enter battle. The villager approaches fast with a rusty pipe raised as a weapon. All of his muscles seem to tense up in the heat of an attack. Last time when I chose hold on, the guy attacked first, effectively ending me quicker than I should have been. So this time I tell him I'm ready to defend myself. And that works, I can now have a turn, thank you very much. I decide to look at bob and weave first, since I think the evasive move will be handy here. A defensive technique where one bobs their head laterally to an incoming attack while shifting balance either left or right. This raises evasion greatly. Great, that's good news, so I cast it. And it works, his attack completely missed. Then he sets down a bear trap. I'm assuming I guard this time. That's also when I notice the ability rev up. What? But I'll explore that later. I guard, he attacks, and I dodged it again, and also dodged the bear trap because I guarded. Awesome. Next up, I attack, and yeah, the knife deals way less damage. Okay, fists are the way to go with this guy, definitely. I keep fighting him, and by the end, he actually almost still killed me, but I beat him in the end, so that's a good learning experience at least. I remove the knife immediately, and when I investigate the guy, I've got an interesting bunch of options I can choose from now. Most of them are question marks, so I'm assuming I learn about many ways to handle a body eventually. Interesting. Wait, I can also saw off his head? I search him and find a small key, then excitedly saw off his head. I wonder what that's for. Oh well, moving on. I read another book, and this time it's the Occult Grimoires. The Occult Grimoires, Magic in Theory and Practice, written by Somiri Zimiri, translated by Oscar Rente. So that one doesn't lose his mind along with the soul, one must come prepared for all situations. The basics of any knowledge is always the most important. You need steady foundations in order to build the tower to the gods. To perform any rites on a ritual circle, the founding circle must be carved first. From top to bottom, the first one is the asymmetric circle. The asymmetric circle represents the older gods and their one-sided distribution of power. The second one is called the imperfect circle. The imperfect circle is the mark of the new gods, who have strived for perfection since their conception, never to attain it truly. And the last one is called the perfection circle. The perfection circle represents countless spiraling cycles culminating in the birth of the ascended ones, the ones who were able to go beyond human limits. One must never assign sigils not meant for their founding circles. That is the lesson to take from here. The beauty of these rites is that you cannot change them, but they can change you. Okay, that's at least some confirmation, I guess, that the circles kind of work the same as in Fear and Hunger 1. It seems like there are just more. Interesting though, I like the lore about the circles and how important they actually are. There is also some sort of circular pit here, and I can either pray for the new gods or give an offering. I choose to give an offering. You have one severed head in your possession. Do you want to sacrifice them all? Ooh, interesting. So in this game you sacrifice heads to the new gods. As I accept, the circular hole fills with blood and something or someone emerges from the blood. The tainted one rises slowly from the pool of blood. Holy hell, this looks like someone in an electric chair or something. Unbearable existence, the suffering, the agony. We play the secret song that echoes from within, the sound that is like razors through flesh. Can you hear it? Yes, you can hear my voice after all. You who came here with the offering, ask and thou shalt receive. You receive a soul stone shard. Oh, is sawing off the heads the equivalent of absorbing souls in the first game? Oh, explorer of the further regions, farewell. The air got lighter again. Feels like a burden is off your shoulders. More like off the other guy's shoulders, am I right? Okay, that's it. That's the interaction. Interesting system. But I have more questions now. Who is that exactly? Oh well. As I move on, I see the military guy. There is someone there. I ask him if he's okay. Then he runs off. Wait, I just want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. Nah, he's gone. I climbed the ladder and now I'm in another house. I think I might be lost, like, completely. Oh well, just loot until we find our way. This is also the second fridge that contains a white vial now. Do all the fridges just have a white vial in them? I loot everything and there's no one else in this house, so I exit. I emerge back in town some way and I find a massive manor type house. And of course I enter it. No questions asked. Yeah, I'm completely and utterly lost, but I'm just gonna go with it. As I enter, there is a clock ticking in the background, just ticking away. I enter the library and wow, look at my luck. You find a book of enlightenment. Very nice. I also find something called a skin Bible, and knowing this game, that is probably human skin, because of course it is. A strong occult book written in the medieval times by Enki. The chapter explains the god of fear and hunger, so Enki wrote skin Bibles? That's very odd, but also cool. I'm assuming that's what his S ending has to do with. He does have the enlightened soul, so it does actually make a ton of sense. I go ahead and read it. The god of fear and hunger. There are popular texts that tell stories of a false god and a chosen human joining together in the darkest and the wettest of dreams. What? The forgotten and long dormant god of the depths perished that night. Only an older god never truly perishes. In its stead, the god of fear and hunger planted its roots and started to grow her influence on the surface world. The scheming false deity had hoped her daughter would be the light of mankind. Only true darkness does not breed light. The god of fear and hunger was a pure child, a blank slate birthed in the darkest pits of human creation. That is where she grew. That is all she knew. She was the pure representation of fear and hunger, not spoiled by even a glimmer of hope. Mankind had seen its share of stagnation and suffering up to that point. To rise from those perilous pits, growing pains were necessary. Progress comes at a price. Fear motivated people while hunger kept them moving forward. People cherished their hardship and drew inspiration from it. They learned from it. What followed was advancement mankind had not seen since the forgotten ages. The dark fumes that rise from the pipes of modern cities are direct consequences of this era, an era that came to be known as the Cruel Age. The mark of fear and hunger raises the agility of its wielder. The texts include the sigil of fear and hunger and instructions on how to use it. Wait, does that mean I actually learned that sigil, so on those circles I can draw them if I have something to draw with? I also found another skin Bible, and this one is about rare. Very much like the sun, the moon is one of the primordial entities, and thus it has lore and benefits written since the dawn of time. This makes it difficult to separate facts from fiction and mad ramblings from hidden truths. Consistent details amongst the myriad of stories seems to hint of a god called Rare, also known as the trickster god and the moon god. In the most ancient of writings, Rare is depicted as the god of the insane and those who've succumbed to madness. His blessing to men is his moonlight, which is said to uncover the truth under the human filth, a truth that is often too much for a human mind to handle. So almost like Grogroth telling us the truth as well. It can be debated whether his version of the truth is more accurate than that of the human filth. Unlike many of the other older gods, Rare's part in the greater scheme of things remains a mystery. Just looking at the night sky, you can see his presence in an eternal slumber. This makes his secrecy even more infuriating. He's literally hiding in plain sight. The mark of Rare raises the maximum capacity of the mind. The text includes the sigil of Rare and instructions on how to use it. Okay, so him increasing the capacity of the mind, I'm assuming he may be like Mage Older God, since he increases your mind so you can cast more spells. That was very interesting. Thank you so much, Inky. F*** off. I investigate the basement and I can lockpick it as well. See how lockpicking is just paying off. I'm glad it's been this useful so far. This place has the sound of a heartbeat. Immediately put me on edge. There is also a door that I cannot lockpick and I can't break it down either. And on the other side, I find a food storage, probably for kitchen staff to use. I'll remember this if any food-based questions come up. And again, in the fridge, there is a white vial, so I think it's safe to now assume every fridge has one. Other than that, there isn't really much down here. I head upstairs again and lockpick another door, this one leading to an office space. I fail the coin toss on the chest because of course I do, and loot the pots and barrels inside and move to the right where there are a bunch of chairs piled up blocking my path. Odd. Okay, now to move up the stairs. I find Hendrik up here just standing around. For Alma's sake, you startled me. Don't go sneaking up on me like that. Now, if you'd excuse me. And he just walks past me. Weird, I thought this would be more of a conversation. As I move down, he's actually just moved down a little, so I go to talk to him again. His eyes are darting around the ceiling. He seems seemingly distressed. I ask him if he's okay. Can you hear that? I can hear a clock, but I can't see a goddamn thing. I hear the clock as well, my man, so you're not crazy, I think. And again, he moves away, this time to the right. I just follow him, stalking him like my prey. I can smell rosemary and garlic. I'm starving. He's got a crazed expression on his face. You notice his eyes gazing right through you. I can smell it. Definitely, you can't fool me. I tell him to snap out of it. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what got into me. First, I was just lost in my thoughts, but next, those thoughts consumed me. There's something wrong with this place. I came here to find something to eat. Not just for me, of course. Food for the people at the train. I figured that could be my way of helping everyone in this situation. You saw all the food at the dinner table. This used to be the mayor's manor. He must have stashed all the food somewhere. Help me find the food storage and we'll be out of here. I tell him that I found the food storage. You did? Lead the way. Jackpot! This is it. Oh, this stuff. It's the famous Bohemian truffle. The mayor must have gathered all this together when shit hit the fan. You could barricade yourself in here for months with this much goodies around. I'll pick up the ingredients for a great dinner for how many people? Maybe 14, just in case. Yeah. Hey, I also found something interesting. Maybe you'll find use for these. You get the sewer keys. Nice, he gives me the sewer keys. Now, if I only knew where the sewers were, I figure you could get into the city with these. In any case, I'll see you back at the train in a minute. Don't forget to join the dinner. That was odd. Why was he losing his mind like that? Moving on. I explore the upstairs a bit more and find a door I can lockpick again. So wait, if I didn't have lockpicking, what would have happened to Hendrik? I wonder. As I explore upstairs, I find a weird note. Have you seen this man in your dreams? Over the past week or so since the full moon, people all over Prehevil and its neighboring settlements see this face in their dreams every night. If you are one of them, or if you have any information that can help us identify this person, please contact us. The flyer says to contact us, but there's no contact information to be found on the flyer. I remember that actually happening in real life. There's an actual poster like that. It's a cool little Easter egg. Also, as I finish the note, I realize there is a weird guy kneeling on one of those ritual circles. I move into the room and suddenly he gets up and chases me. I run away and he thankfully doesn't leave the room. I'll come kill you later, buddy. I really need to get back to the train now. I've explored this place and made some good progress, so I think it's time. I want to see how Tanaka is doing. He's kinda like my best friend now. As I leave the manor, the priest-looking motherfucker follows me out. Oh my god, he really wants my ass. I try to find anything that looks familiar. I lockpick a house to enter for some more loot, hopefully. And up the stairs, there's a gun hanging on the wall and below it written in blood, "Arm yourself. The festival of Termina, the festival of blood is upon us." Heeding the note's advice, I indeed do arm myself. You've never really used one of these, but you've seen enough soldiers cock their bolt-action rifle to know how it's done. The rifle feels pretty natural against your shoulder as you look down the iron sights. Oh, and there is an ammo counter at the bottom left. Wait, so can I use this on overworld enemies? That's awesome. I'll keep that in mind next time I see the pig mask guy. I move to the next house, this one being wide open, and I enter. There are two guys just chilling around a table, so I decide to quickly sneak past them if I can. As I move over broken glass, they get up. The broken glass seemingly alerted them, so I mean, that's actually quite awesome. There's some sort of sneaking mechanic to be done in this game. That's pretty cool. Oh shit, the one guy gets up with a whole ass rifle. I run into the nearby room and there's a text popping up telling me that this is a television room. Why would it tell me that if it was so insignificant? So look, if I find any tapes or something, I need to return here. God knows how. I exit the house via the back door and now I am somewhere new again. Holy hell, am I even going to make it back? This path takes me to a new area. This is Old Town and feels even mistier than before. The atmosphere is getting heavier and heavier. There's a guy here with a melted face. Cool. Oh god, he starts chasing me. I run up. up, but it's a dead end. I trapped myself again. The crazed villager runs straight at you in a blind fury. I bob and weave, it doesn't really help, and I get infected, and he gives me a massive blow. Oh no, I have to run and get out of here somehow. The run works, thankfully, and I juke past him. Oh my god, the enemies in this game, they are tough. I cure my infection and heal up with a light blue vial, which is probably a mistake I'll come to regret later. I explore around a bit, and most of these people here are not hostile, which at least is good news, and I enter a filthy shack. And there is a weird guy sitting in here, behind him a wall full of heads. Wait, is that Buckman? Ragnarvalda? A marriage? Are these just kind of Easter egg heads? Also, is that Lagarde's head? I talk to him and...
The dark corner of the unwanted and the undesired, where they dump the deceased. Stillborn and now moon-scorched.
Moon-scorched is, I'm assuming, the moon cancer, right?
Welcome, oh fresh one. Welcome to the shit pit of Prehevil.
I say, nice decorations you have there.
Under the ever-watching eye of the dead. I want more, though. I want the one who swiped off the old town down, the woodsman. Then I want the one who condemned us down here. I want the priest.
I say, I'll see what I can do.
Show no remorse. Let the blood flow.
Interesting guy, giving me what seems like bounties. First being the priest and the woodsman. After I find a save point, that will be my first mission, to destroy the woodsman and the priest. Okay, time to cross the bridge, and over here there's a hostile dude. So I juke him around and grab all the loot and move on to the shack. And inside I find a weird hatch that I can just open. Okay, another note made. I will kill the priest and the woodsman and then explore the hatch after I save my game. I'm not even sure if you can save at the train, but that's all that makes sense to me right now. I also pass what looks like an elevator, which again I will look at a bit later. My god, so many things. I move to the next area and I'm now at a lake. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna see the train ever again, so I'll just save at the next bed. I see, I guess. I enter the first shack and there's a guy sleeping here whom I proceed to kill because again I finger blasted my keyboard. Man, I need to stop doing that. Oh well, he's dead now, so I take his head. I explore around and this lake is actually quite peaceful, not much going on here. So after I'm done looting, I move on and I'm in a weird forest now. This is Riverside. And again, this is quite peaceful until I get shot by a guy across this tiny river. That was really rude of him. You were grazed by the shot. Doesn't seem like that did too much damage at least, so I'm good. I'm just gonna avoid this guy. There is a gate here and I can again lockpick. Man, what a goated skill. I'm really glad I went back and got it. Oh, this is the sewers. Then what's the sewer key for? Either way, I remember being told that this is how I get to the city by Henrik. So at least we are progressing and now know where it is. Before that though, I want to just finish exploring the riverside. There is another path down south and I decide to follow it. There's not much here, just a few herbs which are always handy, so I just grab it and move on to the next area. Oh my god, I made it back to the train. So I went in a big circle somehow and made it back. Okay, that's amazing news. Outside is Henrik cooking up a storm. The flickering light of the bonfire soothes you. You are just in time for dinner. And I say dinner sounds good. You finish your dinner. It was surprisingly tasty. So, how was it? I say I loved it. Good, good. Henrik looks seemingly happy with a stupid grin and all. There is no one else outside, so I enter the train, desperately trying to be reunited with the boy Tanaka. I find a map on the chair here, and I can also rest here for a bit. Hell yeah, let's save. I land on the tower again after I decided to rest, and there's an image that pops up with a bunch of faces on it. And yes, there are 14 faces here. There's a new face there next to Marco, which I don't recognize, and then there's also that creepy face next to my boy Tanaka. Look how Chad-like he looks, by the way. My god, look at that guy. Such a guy, such a good guy. But that creepy faced girl is probably the one at the back of the train, right? That I saw as I approached the door. I think that's her. And then there's also another face next to Hendrik, which I don't recognize, like some old man or something. So that's the other faces that I don't recognize. Also, August, I couldn't choose him, so he makes up the 14. Interesting. Okay, cool. Now I know at least who I'm working with here. Welcome back. I take it that you are now acquainted with most of your fellow contestants. Keep up the pace. The festival won't last forever. I ask him just what's going on. Since the 14 of you are such late additions to the party, your days are already running short. The festival will see its climax in just 3 days. That is how long you have time. Use it wisely. I ask him what happens in 3 days. My master has a short attention span. If any of the other 13 contestants are still around when midnight hits on the 3rd day, well, I guess you will just have to wait and see. However, it's not advised to wait until then. I ask if he means that I have to kill the other contestants. What you do and what you don't is entirely up to you, of course. Do you want to kill your fellow contestants? But enough about that. Let's proceed to the services I can provide. How may I best aid you in your quest? So I can talk, use the Hexen, which is really cool, okay, or I can save here from him. So you can use the Hexen in this game without like losing all your limbs and everybody getting infected by some ghost wielding a sword that just destroys you. That's a much better system. Awesome. Wow, and there's a lot of spells that you can learn here. Wow. Wait, and I also find an ability called Masturbate. What the hell? What is that used for? Is that for sanity or something? That's so weird. Okay, it seems like we are now all set up for a very action-packed next episode. I'm going after the pig mask guy, the priest, the woodsman, and then that hatch, and then finally the sewers need exploring, and I want to see if I can make it to the city. I want to say thanks to everyone for the ongoing support helping me create these videos. Thank you for all the support in opening up the Patreon. It is now officially live with its first video, and I will keep it updated, I promise. I appreciate any support from the subs to likes to views to memberships to patrons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.